Maybe like many of you, when this pandemic hit the US and we found ourselves with the stay-at-home order, I felt anxious, wondering how this was all going to play out. Right out of the gate, my family experienced job and income loss, moved our son home from college, and began to navigate the distance learning curriculum with our 3 younger children. I quickly found myself irritated that our lives and routines had been interrupted. I spent a great deal of time in prayer asking the Lord, what now? What next? And where will I find joy in the chaos and confusion of this pandemic? I specifically asked that He help me to see the blessings in a time of such uncertainty in the world. During this time of prayer, I was reminded of a quote from Saint Mother Teresa, where she says, "If you want to change the whole world, go home and love your family." I was convicted as I realized I don't need to fix or change the situation or even know what's next. I just need to keep doing exactly what God has called me to do. Focus on the blessings before me, the blessings of family. Our church teaches that the family is the domestic church, and we as parents are entrusted with the role and responsibility of teaching them. This knowledge helped me to realize that I had been given a precious gift. By having our children home during distance learning, I got to see firsthand where they are thriving academically and identify areas where they might be struggling. What a blessing. Sure, at times it was challenging, but just by being around them gave me new insight and perspective of who they are and who they are becoming. Something I think we have overlooked or taken for granted in the past. I also began to realize through this time of our routines being interrupted that an interruption can also be looked at as a blessing. It is teaching our family how to slow down, which is very hard for us. But it has given us the privilege of rediscovering each other and recognizing things that have been lost or overlooked, like dreams and desires that have taken a back seat in the busyness of life. Spending a lot of time together as a family through this pandemic has made us keenly aware of where we are strong as a family and areas where we could use a little work. Again, the Lord shows us something we may not have realized or have taken for granted in the past. I found encouragement from my sisters in Christ from our moms group at church. We share and brainstorm ways to dig deeper into fostering our domestic church, like discovering a love of cooking with family, creating art, music, and praying together, reading, bike riding, backyard picnics, and breaking out the board games, all while reminding ourselves to live in each moment, one blessing at a time. Some of my favorite moments of journeying with my family through this pandemic are the many times that I have witnessed our kids gathered in the same room, enjoying each other's company without the use of electronic devices, and my husband and I finding creative ways to still hold date night, like candlelight dinners on the back porch. Even though the outside world may still be uncertain, and it hasn't always been easy through this pandemic, I am reminded again and again through these blessings that I see that God can and will make all things good and beautiful, even in such troubling times. We see this promise in Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. He can take bad situations and make them good again if we just live in the moment and challenge ourselves to focus on the blessings before us. In a time such as this, the Lord has given us great gifts. The gift to slow down, the gift to reconnect, the gift to live in the moment and not take things for granted. And most important gift of all, the blessing of journeying with Him and family through this pandemic. It may not always be perfect, but it sure is beautiful.